a teacher that didn't look like me.
Mm-hmm.
She said, "What you saying?" I said, "It's Gal." Gail? I just say, "Yeah, go ahead."
So you just adopted the
I
name?
just go, yeah, go ahead.
Her birth certificate said GAL.
No, my birth certificate has my correct government name on it.
Oh, okay.
So,
Which is? Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
when
She
you
had
like to
witness
know.
protection.
exactly.
When you like to know.
I know your social security number. I'm just saying. 153. No.
My great grandmother used to call me Gail.
Yes,
And
that Gal.
I think it was after my other siblings were born. Like you get more than 3, you stop calling them all by name. So literally, she was just like, "Come here, Gal," and that was it. And they was like, "Who was that? That Gal?" And I remember asking my mom, like, "Does she even know my name?" Like, she never called me my name.
My father never called me my name. There was just 2 of us. My brother and I. We were both kid. Kid 1, kid 2.
That's a real Dr.
yeah, my
Seuss.
yeah.
Pretty much. That's what we were. We were kid.
It's very Dr. Seuss.
And then we found out that everybody was kid. Because he ain't know nobody's name.
Bless him.
And
And,
he-
as today, you have that challenge with remembering names.
You don't know this?
I've
That-
seen you.
How you putting my business out there like that?
I've seen you.
I know people. Your name is Guns. Your name is Miss Gail. See? I know people's names.
He do at the moment.
Yeah.
In a way.
Right there in that moment.
That-
Leaving. Don't
I had to hit. I'm not gonna fake that because I'll give you a name for it.
Right.
I'm
So
known to
we
give
gonna
it-
make up a name?
I'm known to make up some
Especially if
names
it's
now.
small,
Bubba.
supercalifragilistic
Come here, Bubba.
Yeah, yeah.
I had a conference call the other day with a girl, whatever her name was, and I just kept calling her, to make it funny so that they're not offended and I can't pronounce it. I was like, "Hey, Kiki, are you listening?" I would just play because I could only say the Kiki part. I really couldn't say her whole name,
Really?
and I know she got tired of saying it because when she said it, I was like, "Say it again." And I did it like 3 times, and I should have wrote it down. And I don't even think I would have spelled it the way it was sound.
Well, you're supposed to spell it phonetically so
Yeah.
that you can pronounce it that right.
She
that
answered
way.
the Kiki, so
Really?
we gonna stick with it right there.
So have you ever avoided saying somebody's name you don't know their name in the whole conversation? I'm not the only one.
I substitute
Good.
a person's name with dear.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
Everybody,
yeah.
dear.
Yeah, you know what?
Hey, dear.
What's
Yeah, say anything but their name because you don't know their name.
Right. Well, people that really know me, I have a routine. So if we were going out and we saw you, I would introduce you. "Hey, girl, how you doing, Miss Gail? This is Dr. Business. Dr. Business, this is Miss Gail." That's cool. If I say, "Hey, how you doing?" He knows me well enough. If I'm just talking to you, his cue is, and I don't introduce him. His cue is, "Hey, I'm Dr. Business. What's your name?" That will let me know. Oh, that's who that is.
Oh, y'all got that thing.
No, I'm just saying somebody that knows me that
Okay.
would kick it with me. Yeah, so that's your thing. So now you
That's
know.
my thing. So now I know. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
See, you
okay.
learn something
Yeah.
new every day.
Yeah.
Don't ever say that you don't learn things on the Profit and Growth Hour. See, that is something that you can adopt when you are out kicking it with kicking it. That's what you do.
Kicking
Kick. When you kick it with someone, you can employ those methodologies in the event that you don't know somebody's name, or you can call them Kiki, or you can call them Dear, or you can call them Kid, or.
Miss Gail.
You call everybody.
I know.
Miss Gail, that's my name. Call me Miss Gail.
But
Or
what
just
would
say,
you
hey.
call
What would
Somebody
you
if you
call
don't know
somebody
their
else
name.
if you didn't know their name?
That's
Like you said, you
I
avoid
just
it.
told y'all I don't say nothing.
Anything.
I change the conversation
you
if I
just
have to, or I'll make up a name. Like I have a friend and I call her NBA. I can't tell you what that is on the air, but
Yes, you can. Go
cause
ahead.
she said,
What's that mean?
Sure, why you call me NBA? Because you got nothing but
Got you.
Oh, N. Like
N,
Nancy.
N,
Nancy,
Mhm.
Bob, Adam. Okay,
And
and
that's
that
what- big.
and that means nothing but
Apples.
donkey.
See,
Nothing
she
but
gonna
a
know what I'm
donkey.
talking about. She listening to this.
What?
Get me in trouble.
What's
See,
going on?
So that's
sure,
all she
okay,
got?
when you put me on the. Oh no, she's very intelligent.
nobody
She's
gonna know. She
awesome.
ain't the only one with
It's
an
just
MBA.
that her last name that we was in a hurry. We was working together, and I was always late. Me, oh my goodness, I'm working on it. And
You were on time today.
Yeah, I was. wasn't I?
Exactly.
Right
I'm
on
so
time.
proud of you, girl.
Me too.
She slid in like third base, though. She came
Yeah,
in the door.
but hey, I was like, I was gliding through, girl.
That's what I'm talking about. That's right.
Breathing hard and all, but
You made it. You
I made it.
Like that guy on there was a newscast or something, and he was a Marine or military something, and it was the first day on the job with some moving company, and he didn't want to be late and stuff like that. His car broke down, so he literally walked 20 miles.
He left at midnight in order to get to the job on time the next morning.
Mm-hmm.
He got picked up by the police because they were like, black man walking in the middle of the night. What you doing, son? He explained to him what he was doing, and they was like, nah, we gonna stop. And they got him breakfast, they gave him some food, and they dropped him off at the church so the church could help him out. Well, church was like, rest a minute. He was like, appreciate it, gotta roll out. He walked in, another police officer stopped, because they had already told what was going on. So they ended up getting him to where he needed to be, and the people were like, because the cops drop you off to do my house,
Exactly. There's a problem. Exactly.
And it was like, nah, he started walking last night. He wanted to be here on time. They said, well, go upstairs and rest for a little bit. He said, no, ma'am. And he went straight to work. He literally walked from midnight to the time he had to get to the job 20 miles away, went straight to work and for him, it was his word. He had given his word. And I think that that's phenomenal that we don't go out of our way anymore. Not a lot of people don't go out of their way to make sure that their word is firm.
Yes.
If I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. Literally, it's like I said, you understand. So something came up. You're supposed to be flexible. With your understanding. But if I'm depending on you and you've given me your word. Don't let it return to me void either.
Exactly.
Go ahead on and fulfill.
So, Dr. Bizness, would you say that is a follower aptitude or leadership?
Oh, definitely a leader.
Definitely a leader.
Yes,
So
definitely
he's a
taking the
leader.
initiative. Absolutely.
Yes.
Because there will be people now that hear that broadcast, that will hear that story, and they will take heed to it, and they will follow in his footsteps. And they will make ways out of no way and get where they need to be and honor their word. So you're now being an inspiration to other people, and you're motivating them to do the right thing. And a lot of times we don't do that. But when these types of things happen, we need to talk about it. And oftentimes these aren't the things that we talk about because it may not be sexy, and it doesn't involve sex and cursing and drama and violence and that kind of thing.
Messy.
So if somebody doing the right thing,
Right.
media doesn't highlight that.
No, not often enough anyway.
Exactly. So whenever we have an opportunity to be able to highlight the good things that people are doing, that's the type of stuff that we need to be highlighting, because somebody out there is going to hear and listen and follow.
I think what I got mostly out of that story is it was an African American male that did the walking, and he was going to help a Caucasian family move. I have always, being a leader and being an educator, being a trainer, and then even in my government role, in that position, I've always told our people, I was like, sometimes this is the only true black they get to see. Because there's no shortage of thugs on television. There's no shortage of ratchetness in our community and television. So for him to make those strides and effort, the wife, she was floored. She was in tears, and stated, she's like, you're going to change lives. When she said that, she really has a good story to tell about African American people that she may not have had before because of the only exposure that they were given, but to see that level of commitment and to be the recipient of it. I really feel like that they would teach their children differently. I think that they'll share news and information differently, and they'll look at other black people differently. Even if they don't live up to that, knowing that potential is there and that there really are some good people out there that go above and beyond. That's the part that made me, because it's easy to say, oh my gosh, and he had dreadlocks and his pants were hanging down. That was easy, but that's not the way that story went.
It would be easy for her to take up for the black men when she's seen that. Because when everybody else is talking about seeing what they see on TV, she can be like, no, that's not all it is to them. It's more to it. So that was awesome.
He's not just a rapper. He walks. He's an athlete. He's coming all the way here to move
and
my
he's a man of his word. You don't find that every day.
Right. And even his the company that he worked for, the manager gave him his car. He was like, "This is my car, and I use it every now and then." He was like, "But clearly, it would be of better use to you than it is to me." And the dude just gave him. He said, "Like literally, these are your keys. You don't owe anything. You can take it right now." And the kid was like,
"Look at God,
for real." And I mean, of course, when he set out on that journey, I know he didn't think the cops gonna pick me up, and I know he thought the cops gonna pick me up, and I'm gonna miss.
I know he was praying. No, I know he was praying, Lord, be offense. I know he was praying.
But I know he could never have imagined that journey led to that next journey, on his life. And man, it just makes me think about how many times have we sat down when we should have been walking. How many times did we say, "I'm too tired to go," or, "Oh well, I'll catch the next ride," or, "It ain't worth it," and we missed that with that one journey. Literally, he didn't need 40 years to walk around the wilderness. Like literally walked out of a situation into his destiny.
And I think that's the problem that people have. They're so short-sighted in their viewpoint, and they're only thinking A to B. But what you don't understand is that when you do A to B, that could lead to C, which then leads to D, which then leads to E, which then leads to your promised land. But we don't want to go from A to B.
Right.
We don't want to work for the man and, do what the man say without you recognizing and understanding that maybe one day the man is going to leave you his business. There was a movie that Kevin Hart was in.
Yeah, it hasn't come out yet. I know what you're talking about.
But he was the top salesman at some, I think it was a furniture store or something. It was at a furniture store or something. He was a top salesman. And the guy that owned it also employed his son. But his son was a disappointment, and his son was a slacker, and he wanted to retire or whatever. So he was like, "Well, when I retire, I'm going to leave my business to you," i.e. Kevin Hart, not to his biological son, because Kevin Hart proved himself. Now, that wasn't the type of job that Kevin Hart wanted, but he needed to feed his family and do what he needed to do, so he accepted what he felt was a less or beneath him, but made the most of that situation, which actually literally turned into him being able to inherit this multi-million-dollar business. Just by being found faithful, just by showing up. And people don't show up. And because they don't show up, God doesn't have the opportunity to show out. Therefore, your blessing never comes. And then we want to blame God and blame everybody else and blame the man and whatnot for me not having and me not doing. But the reality of it is you thought it was beneath you, so you decided not to show up because it wasn't good enough and it wasn't worth your time and that kind of thing. But then when you end up failing, crashing and burning, you want to blame the rest of the world.
Yep.
That ought not be.
How they say, despise not small beginnings.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right. It's those humble beginnings. It's having those stones of remembrance that I think people forget oftentimes where you came from.
Absolutely.
And if you forget where you came from, then you think that, oh, I always had it like this. Or, oh, I always, had arrived. It's like, no, I remember you back, Jenny from the block, and you were on the street corner, and I remember when homeless and ratchet and
had
on the park
breakfast
bench
for dinner, and
exactly. You were the oodles and noodles queen. Exactly.
Find all kind of recipes.
People get amnesia.
Yes,
exactly. See, and that's what keeps you full. Because it don't melt, it like the block stays in your stomach, and it gives the impression of you being full. So that was good eating.
What? That macaroni and cheese wasn't good when it was made.
No. What? You mean the one you had to wipe down before you could eat it?
Yeah, the sharp
oil was on top.
No, it was the butter.
That was not butter.
It was butter.
That was butter. I'm talking about that sharp cheese.
The oil that was in the cheese.
The government cheese.
That's what made it even better.
Well, thank you. I want to give a shout out to my father, retired Command Sergeant Major James L. McDuffie. Thank you for your service and pursuing excellence, so we didn't have to stay on government cheese.
Stay on it, which means you were on it at one point.
I remember my mom used to tell me to make a grilled cheese sandwich. That cheese don't cut straight. It never.
That's because your eye
like
crooked.
a pyramid. Boy,
Your eye crooked. You got.
You start off like this, and then
if it is so tough, you get tired by the time you get to the middle.
You're not using the right knife.
Yeah, no, you get tired by the time you get to the middle of that cheese.
Right.
Yeah,
Get you some money and get you a Ginsu knife.
If we had money,
if you had money to get somebody, you wouldn't need to go to the cheese, right? No, I don't care what kind of knife you have. You can go chop. You know how you just sharpen a knife on the bricks on the You can have one of them just sharpen. You get tired by the time you get to the middle of that block. Now
You needed to
trying
straight
to
up axe. You just needed to. It was, wait, no joke. One time I was trying to make a grilled cheese and I couldn't get the cheese to cut, so I took the whole block on the pan like this and tried to melt it and then wipe the bread on it.
No.
Okay,
serious?
A little bit and wipe the bread. Did a little bit and wipe the bread. That was the worst. I hated that.
You could put it in the microwave.
But we had a
microwave.
You have a microwave?
Y'all didn't have a grater. Y'all didn't have the grater because we just run the grater
Lord.
on top of the cheese and
I
meat.
wasn't allowed to use the grater.
I guess I was rich. Had me a Ginsu knife and a microwave.
I guess so. That's
Raised
Yeah,
the
that was-
roof.
Yeah.
humble
And
beginning.
you must have been in the city. You must have been from the city too.
I woke up like this. I woke up like this.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lord.
I know.
The things we have to go through
Oh, or had to go through.
to get to where we are today.
Amen. Amen.
As long as we're not where we used to be,
No.
God can still use us.
And doing better. And desire to do better. Do you have any regrets?
Oh, I have no
I
regrets.
have none. I mean, I
You know,
think
people
from the
say
term
that thing,
for the journey.
what would you tell your younger self? What would you... I saw something like, what would you tell your 21-year-old self? I was like, she gonna have to come up here and talk to me. I ain't going back.
like that. Yeah, I know, right?
Talk to her.
I'd be like, do it again. Yeah.
Oh, I had fun.
I like my 21-year-old self, my 22, my 20. Yeah, I like my 20s, I like my 30s. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Everything that I've gone through has cultivated the person that I am today, and I really love myself.
Yes.
Like, I really... Like, I would marry me. I'm awesome.
You are awesome. You are awesome. But I don't
On
know.
that note, nah.
Yeah.
The family, we gonna go to break. Yeah, we gonna get her some marriage papers so she can marry herself.
Dearly beloved,
Yes.
we've gathered here today to join me, myself, and I in holy matrimony. To have and to hold. See, I'm with me through sickness and health till death do me part.
That is true. You were
just
there,
saying.
thick and thin. That's right.
I don't know. I'm gonna go with God on this one. It's not good for a man to be alone.
I'm talking to yourself.
Somebody, Lord, let him find me, Jesus.
I don't want to embarrass myself.
I don't want to embarrass myself. I don't want to catch your
Lord, half of the outfit gonna be a bride, gonna be the wedding dress. The other half gonna be a tuxedo.
No, all me and my glamour.
Oh wow.
Bless the
All
Lord.
me and my glamour. Glory.
How can I get in contact with you? If that man out there is looking and seeking, how can he find that good thing?
Facebook, Inner Beauty Radio.
She ain't hesitate either. Speak up. They can't hear
Inner Beauty Radio.
you. Inner beauty.
Inner, INNER, Beauty, MK.com. Facebook, Miss Gail, MK, and Twitter, Miss Gail. That's MZGAIL. You can call me too now, 980-207-9903. I say that's sex enough, you think?
No. You got to do that a little bit better. Do it a little bit better. Come on.
You
Good.
can call me too now, 980-207-9903.
And you guns?
If you all would like to come to my wedding, send your RSVP to gunstotalwellness.com, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm Googleable. I'll send out evites to the Me, Myself, and I party. I think I'm really going to do that.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh.
I think I really am.
Is she gonna be the
And
only
you know
one
what?
there? And she gonna be
No.
dancing with herself?
I'm gonna have a Me, Myself, and I wedding, and all the women that love yourself, wear your best bridal dress, and we're going to commit ourselves to ourselves.
That sounds good.
980-239-7819. Guns Total Wellness. I am Guns. Oh. And you just...
I'm just Dr. Business, and yeah, we just gonna go ahead and
you officiate our wedding?
Yeah, I could do that. Yeah.
Oh, now he want to be
Yeah. That's because it comes with an officiating check.
Exactly.
So yeah, I will officiate.
Myself and I gotta pay for it then.
Exactly.
Not me.
Just have each one of them write a check payable to Dr. Business, and we be good. I will officiate. Absolutely. In fact, I'll even be the photographer. I'll have the selfie stick and everything. What? That's another
Say
check.
to the people.
God, that's another check.
That's two.
And then if I
Two
press
nickels to rub
the
together.
record button, that's video right there.
That's
I'm
two
gonna be your
nickels to rub
videographer
together. No.
right there. So that's another check, officiating check, photography check, videographer check, and in
You know,
fact,
men are not good multitaskers.
You need any help? I'm a good multitasker.
you're a good multitasker.
She's trying to.
All right.
I have 4 kids, grown kids. So I done had to do some things. Now I had to
Yeah,
make
you
it,
did
I
have
had
to
make
do
it
some
work.
things in order to get 4 kids.
Yeah, I had to hold the baby on the hip, fry the chicken.
I'm talking about things you had to do before you had the kids.
That's
Yeah.
another story. That's how they got here. But
Should have
Should have had me, myself, and I wedding.
Exactly.
But you had a you and him.
Exactly. See what happened? See? Ended up, no, never mind. Family, bye-bye. We're just going to leave now. Yeah. See you later. Arrivederci. Bye-bye. Ciao, bella. Stop. It's somewhere on the screen. Oh, Lord. Oh, she can't see. Look, she can't see. Bless her heart. Oh, see? Press the button. Press the button. Okay. The one that said stop. Yeah.
Pressing the wrong stop.